Welcome to Wonder Women Who Build, the podcast where women lead boldly, build businesses that last, and forge relationships that truly matter. I'm your host, Carrie Moreau, business owner, relationship builder, proud roofing Wonder Woman, and someone who believes that success starts with a solid foundation in business and in life. Whether you're growing a company, leading a team, or just figuring out what's next, this space is for you. So thank you for hitting play. I'm so glad you're here. Today's episode is a continuation of a discussion we had a couple weeks ago regarding networking. So when I sat down to write that episode and began to share with you all about networking, it was a little overwhelming for me. So I thought maybe it was overwhelming for you. I came across a podcast by Dr. Ivan Misner, who is the founder and chief visionary officer of Business Networking International, which is the world's largest business networking organization. It was founded in 1985, so there's a lot of wisdom in what he has developed and what he has to say about master networkers. So I'm going to go over the top 10 traits of a master networker, starting with number 10. So 10 is they work their network. And what that means to me is that they're a connector. So whether you are naturally a connector or not, this is what that means to me. It means that you take your business cards with you. You use a CRM system to remember the details of the people that you're connecting with. You have a email distribution list that you actively work off of and sending emails out to the people that you're networking with, and that you set up appointments to get better acquainted with your contacts. So whether that is a phone call, a 10-minute phone call, 30-minute phone call, or meeting up for coffee, you're working your network. So when you get together with that person, you're being strategic about who you're going to introduce them to. So you're not meeting with them to sell them something, which I think personally, a lot of people in networking confuse networking with sales. Networking is not about sales. Networking is about making connections so that you can learn more about someone else's business to introduce them to people who could be a great referral source for them. So I had a meeting just this week on the a Teams meeting with a payroll provider, and the whole entire time we talked about who is our ideal referral, and so that was us working within our network. And as I shared with him about my business and who I want to connect with, he immediately thought of someone to introduce me to. So that's the type of conversation you want to have, is not selling the person that you're networking with, but who can you connect them with that'll be a great source of business or a great source of referrals for them. The 9th trait of a master networker is that they are sincere. So sincerity is very, very important. People can see through if you have an angle in what you're doing. So you need to be able to share authenticity, but also be a person who can detect authenticity. So if you're meeting with someone and you are detecting that they're not sincere, then you can kind of know that they're probably going to sell to you or they're not going to be a good referral partner. But modeling yourself to be a sincere person and truly caring and truly being interested in others is very, very important. So one of the things that I like to do is be sincere in the relationships that I'm building, and learning about that person and asking them questions so that they can feel seen and heard, which you are watching and listening to me practice that every single time you listen to an episode. And that sincerity is what is building the foundation for me to be a master networker. And so I encourage you to do that same thing, is to be sincere. So you'll be attracted to like-minded people. You'll learn things about people that you didn't know before. And it's actually a lot of fun once you step into just believing yourself to be a sincere person and putting that out into the world. You will also attract sincere people towards you, and you'll build really long-lasting referral relationships by using that, by putting that in your mind as one of the key tools in your networking purse, pocketbook, back pocket, I don't know. The 8th trait of a master networker is someone who enjoys helping others. So one of the things that I model, that I do, is that anytime someone sends me a text message or an email, and they're letting me know that maybe they're canceling an appointment, or they couldn't follow through with something that they told me they could follow through with. I don't ever assume, put myself there and like be offended. So I remove offense and ask how I can help. So like just yesterday, I needed to reach out to somebody for something, and their response was, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was out of town. My mother is sick." So instead of just saying, "Okay, no problem, send it over later," I asked them, "Oh, your mom's sick? Okay, how can I help you? Is there anything I can do?" And there's probably nothing that I can do, but just putting it out there and being willing to help someone else, you'll be surprised because you may get a response back that says that, yeah, there is something you can do. And so maybe you don't enjoy helping other people. It's going to be really hard to network because we're messy and we have lots of things going on in our lives, lots of difficult seasons we're walking through. So if you can find it within your heart to be a helper, and like a few episodes ago, we talked about doing good, but be the good. So this one is connecting that. So you want to not only do good, but you want to be the good. And being the good is what's the foundation of helping other people. And you might just find as you journey through that and shift your mindset a little bit about being a helper, that it builds trust and mutual respect between the other person because you're making yourself available. So enjoy helping others. It will make you feel amazing. Number 7 is a master networker always thanks people. So once a connection is made, once you receive maybe there's a group text that they put together, or maybe there's an introductory email of how someone else is connecting you with a person. Maybe you received a referral from someone. Take a minute, pull out your phone, and send them a quick text or a message or an email thanking them for recommending you and telling them something, powerful and telling them something powerful in that moment. It may seem really small, but why I'm saying it's powerful is that we are in such a hurry that we don't thank the people that are helping us build our business. And it doesn't take very long. It just, thanks for the referral. I'm really looking forward to connecting them and working with them. Thank you for thinking of me. This is amazing. Wow. Put an exclamation point. Those texts make a big difference because you don't know what they're experiencing in their day. And maybe their day, they got a bunch of no's, they're out making sales calls, they lost a contract, whatever. But if someone else is also networking and they're pouring into your business and they recommended you, well then take a minute, step back, say thank you. They'll have a moment of celebration with you, and it's just so much positive energy that's going back and forth in that. So always take a minute to say thank you. You can even do it publicly on your social media page. So just this week, not yesterday, but just this week, I worked with one of my referral partners, but I also did business with her personally. I was in a car accident, and she represented me in a personal injury case, and I went to her office to pick up my settlement check. And I said, let's take a picture so I can post it out there and let everybody know what you did. And in that post, I was just so thankful for all the ways that she helped me. And from that post, she ended up getting a referral from someone that I knew. So thanking people is really powerful, especially when you do it publicly. Okay, number 6 of a master networker is that they network always. So what does that mean? It means that everywhere you go and everything you do, people also are working and have jobs and have needs or need referral partners. So let's see, how can I break this down of how it applies in my daily life? So networking always for me is that all of my clients, my friends, I've mentioned this before, I tell people that I am their new Google. So that way, if they have a need or there's something, I say to them, well, how did you find that garage door repairman that's working on your house? Maybe they're talking to me over dinner. They were struggling with their garage door and they tell me about it. I'm like, oh, how many reviews how'd you find them? Oh, I went to Google. How many reviews do you have to read? A lot. Did you enjoy that process? No one enjoys that process. So that point is when I can introduce the idea that they don't have to do that anymore. So the next time they need a service in their home or anything in their business, whatever, give me a call because I have a trusted person I can refer them to. So doing that allows me to network always, but it's not gimmicky. Like I remember there was a realtor friend of mine, and one of the things she said to me a couple of years ago was that this is important to me because my friends make me money. And in that moment, I didn't really like that phrase, my friends make me money. But I understand now that what she was saying is that those relationships build her business, and so they're important to her. But she was monetizing her relationships. So I think there's a fine line between networks always and being like, sorry guys, in the new cars, if you're a woman in the auto sales, sorry, but being like a used car salesman, right? So a couple of, master networking points, we talked about being genuine. So the genuine part of it and sincerity has to be playing into you for you to network always, because people that don't feel the sincerity or the genuineness in having a relationship or a conversation with you makes it difficult to network always, because we don't want to be that used car sales kind of, I don't know how to explain it. We all know the feeling. We all know it, and we want to avoid it. So networking always for me means that I'm open to a conversation. If somebody asks me about what I do, I'm going to immediately ask them about what they do, because normally when people are asking you that, they want to talk about themselves. So I always try to switch the conversation to the other person so that they can talk about themselves and I can learn more about their business. And then if something sparks in my mind, I can connect them with somebody. It goes back to being genuine and sincere and building someone's business. So networking always for me is listening to what people are saying so that I can connect them with someone else, or maybe solve a problem for them by providing someone that can, help them out. And that would be a referral. So it's not just at networking events, but at any time that you're you're out and about, you're living life, you're going to dinner, you're at a birthday party, you're at a pool party, you're at a soccer sideline. I was actually at a gymnastics meet last weekend, and I was sitting across from I was watching my granddaughter on the mat do her thing, and her mom, my daughter-in-law, her sister was there. And so her sister and I started chatting, and I had brought T-shirts for all the family. So our granddaughter's name is Kala, so everybody had a shirt with the gymnastics thing on, the logo, and then on the back it said like Kala's uncle, Kala's cousin, Kala's grandpa. Like all of us had that on the back of our shirt. So Heather turns to me and says, "The shirts are so cute. Where did you get them?" We started talking about the shirts, and she shares with me that in her job where she works, she's the person who orders shirts, and how the quality of the shirts have gone downhill. We had this whole conversation about wanting to use local companies. She's like, "Where did you get these shirts?" And I told her it was one of my referral partners that is here locally that just happens that they make shirts, and I always go to them for the orders. And right there and there, I was able to make a connection, and I did a group text message and introduced her to my T-shirt provider, the person I know that does T-shirts, and she gained a new client. So that is what always networking means. The fifth trait of being a master networker is good listening skills. It's very important to listen. And the reason why I paused is because this one usually makes me laugh a little, because being self-aware of myself, I think I'm a good listener. And sometimes I catch myself missing details, and so I have to work on that. But when I'm talking to someone or I'm observing a conversation between two people and I hear them completely missing what the other person is saying, it's really hard for me to be quiet and not interject and like tell them, "Hey, I don't think you realize that they just said this thing and you totally skipped past it." So good listening skills start with not thinking about what you're going to say next. You have to slow yourself down and not care about what your response is going to be, but care more about what the other person is saying. I was at a chamber event for Seminole County a couple of weeks ago, and a colleague that works at my roofing company and I were standing there waiting to go into a room, and a gentleman walked up to us because the guy who's my team member was wearing one of our polos that had our business logo on it. So anytime I'm out and about at a networking event, and if I'm with one of my employees that happens to be a man, I'm going to do a little side note here of this little story. But anyway, they don't walk up to me to talk to me about roofing or construction. They walk up to whatever guy is closest with my logo on, because they think he's the one that knows everything. And that's okay, because they do. Of course, the guys I work with know a lot, but it's hard for me to be quiet because I want to answer the questions. I want to be in the conversation because, I'm so awesome. But anyway, this gentleman walked up and had questions for my senior salesperson, and he was asking him the questions about different insulations. He's thinking about insulation in his roof, in his attic space, blah, blah, blah. He's asking all these questions, and then he starts talking about the roof. And so then my colleague replies, but doesn't answer his question at all. He actually talked about something kind of side related, but didn't answer his question. And I had to physically bite my lip to keep my mouth shut. And then when the gentleman walked away, because he didn't get his question answered and he was a little confused, he walked away. I turned and I was like, hey man, you didn't answer his question at all. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, he asked you about insulation and how it affects the roof and if he should do the insulation first or the roof first. And you talked about something totally different. And he's like, oh my gosh, I did do that. Ugh. He's like, okay, I have his card, so when I email him, I'll make sure to answer his question in an email. So good listening skills are key. If you don't have good listening skills, or maybe you're not sure, ask someone that knows you and ask them, hey, do you think I'm a good listener? If no one has ever complimented you on being a good listener, you probably have some room for improvement. If you've had a conversation with someone and they say, wow, you really made me feel XYZ. I feel so much better after talking to you. You're probably a really good listener and you're good, like you're set. You don't need to worry about number 5. But if you've never had that compliment, take some time, read a book, go ask some questions online, see how you can develop some strategies to become a better listener. Number 4, the fourth trait of being a master networker is trustworthy. So if someone refers you, they are putting their reputation on the line. So you must honor that. So just last night at a dinner, someone else across the table was saying, I referred so-and-so and I can never refer them again because X, Y, Z. And it was a really common thing that I hear because people know that I'm out networking. They know I'm networking all the time. So they were asking me for advice of how to handle this particular situation. And one of the things they said was, yeah, but this is the 3rd time this has happened. I just can't trust them anymore. So sometimes people don't come to you and tell you that you're not trustworthy, but the traits to being trustworthy are doing what you say you're going to do, providing transparency in your pricing, so not changing, quoting a price and then upping it later after you do the work. Also being trustworthy is that you're not going to bash your competition or talk negatively about someone else. So you never know who's listening, so you always want to speak in positive light of other people. Paying attention to your response time. So if someone requests something from you and you can't deliver in the time frame that you said you could, so maybe if it's a quote or if it's just an introduction or whatever, communicate what's in the way of why you're not able to do the thing you said you were going to do. So we always want to do what we say we're going to do, but we're humans, we're messy. So if you can't do the thing you said you were going to do, reach back out. And you don't have to give a bunch of details, but just hey, I'm still working on that. I haven't forgotten. I wanted to touch base with you. I wanted to let you know this is where I'm at. I will do it as soon as I can. As soon as it's done, I'll let you know. Just communication is really important. So if you're not communicating, there's that gap in between where people are imagining. They're imagining why you're not delivering what you said you were going to deliver. So if you can't deliver what you said you're going to deliver, just reach out and tell them. So I have to brag on my producers here because sometimes, they got a lot of projects they're working on, a lot of editing they're doing, but I fully trust them that if a deliverable doesn't show up the day that they said, they reach out and they tell me. They're like, hey, we told you this was going to be done here. This is usually when it's done. Want to let you know, we're still working on it. You'll have it by this day. That says so many things. It helps me so much because I don't have to imagine or guess or I have my social media person asking me, did they work on that? Did they send you that thing yet? I haven't heard from them. I'm not sure. They don't have to reach out first. You reach out. They always reach out to me first and let me know. So it just builds so much trust. It's amazing. Upper Media, look them up. The 3rd trait of being a master networker is being enthusiastic and motivated. This one, sometimes people are surprised. It's tough for me. I'm usually smiling and I'm usually motivated. And if I'm not, people usually think I'm mad or I'm sick. But it's really, I'm human and I get tired sometimes. So if my energy is low, I have to do things to pump my energy up. So today, my energy was a little low, but I'm driving here to the studio. I had to turn on some of my favorite music and I had to move in my seat. And I'm sure people that were next to me at traffic lights were like, what is she doing? I didn't care. When people are watching me do something and they're judging me, you know what I say? It's none of my business. So anyway, doing a little dance, driving down the road, being really happy about things and smiling. Like if you're not feeling good and you're on your way to an event to network with someone and you're feeling a little low, just turn on a smile. It feels really weird at first, but if you just turn on the smile, it actually does create endorphins. It helps you get out of that stuck energy because energy attracts attention. So if you walk into a room and you are happy and you are smiling and you're able to make eye contact, people are attracted to that. I actually had somebody say to me the other day, Carrie, every time you walk into a room, you own the room. I don't own the room. I don't even know what that means. I was just in the car like, oh God, I'm so tired and I have to go to this thing and I have to make eye contact and I have to talk to people. Like, I'm just like everybody else. I say I'm Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman gets tired too. So people want to help someone who shows passion. And I know this to be true. So if I'm not feeling enthusiastic or motivated, I have little tricks in my back pocket that help me get there. And so today, my trick was Lizzo. I was listening to some Lizzo and I was jamming out to Lizzo on the way here. And it took all that stagnant energy away. And then actually I recorded an episode right before this one. And when I opened it and I began to talk, they said, that's the best you've ever done in your intro for a podcast. Well, it happened today. That's my win for today. Like I came with that energy. That energy wasn't there when I put my feet on the floor this morning after getting out of bed. I had to do some things to get that energy up and to be enthusiastic. So I encourage you to find that thing that helps you get there and put it in. So if you're feeling a little cranky as you're driving to go network with people or driving to a meeting, do something that'll snap you out of it. The second trait of a master networker is positive attitude, which connects to being enthusiastic. It's really difficult to have a negative attitude if you're smiling or if you're bringing that energy forward. But people do want to refer and connect with someone who's upbeat and optimistic. So even if there's a challenge, be that person that's finding the silver lining. Like I had a low day the other day and I called one of my referral partners, Angie Akey, actually, she's been on an episode, and I was like having a little pity party and she said, yeah, but it's going to work out. You know, she was upbeat and she was optimistic. And I like that about her. It kind of annoyed me. So it's okay. Positive attitudes don't always get well received, but do it anyway. Because if you're always that upbeat and that positive person, bringing that energy to them, we have so many things that when we walk out into the world and we're living our life that are sucking our energy, taking away our positive attitude. So if you can be that person that they know, when they see you, they're going to feel better when they walk away. Like you're going to attract people who want to refer and connect because they imagine that client they're sending your way, the one we said that they're putting their reputation on the line to refer them to you, they're going to feel better about connecting them with you because they're going to be like, oh, call Carrie. She'll know exactly what to say. She'll know exactly how to handle the situation. She'll take really good care of you. Positive attitude matters because that's how they're going to view you when you're not around. And the number one trait, I won't do a drum roll on the table because I know it affects the microphone, but if I could, I'm doing it in my heart. So the number one trait of a master networker is following up on referrals. There's nothing worse than sending someone a referral and the person you referred calling you up and says, I never heard from them. It's not good. So following up on referrals is the number one trait. So if you get a referral, call right away. It's a priority. If you can't call, have someone on your team reach out. If you can't call, send a text message to that person, set a time for later, but always touch base. Always touch base with the person that you were referred to. So I know that every time I'm connected to a real estate professional, I always reach out right away because that is setting the cadence for how this real estate professional believes that I will respond when they have a client issue. So if I'm taking days to respond, then in their mind, I'm not the person that they're gonna call on when they need something right away. They're like, she's gonna take 3 days to return my email, or every time I call, it goes to voicemail, or anything like that. So when I get a referral, I follow up right away. I take action. I let the referrer know. So I let the referrer know, the person who sent that person to me, I let them know that I either sent a text, sent an email, or I made a phone call. Even if I didn't get to connect with the person they referred me to, I let the person who referred me know so that if they see each other, then let me see if I can tell an example. So I received a referral a couple of days ago to a realtor, and the person who referred me did it in an email, and it was a group email so he could see it. So I responded right away to that group email, even though it took the person they referred me to. So a payroll provider referred me to a realtor friend, and then it was in an email, and I jumped in that email and responded right away. And then that realtor who I was referred to took a while to respond. That's okay, because I already reached out and now I'm on their pace. But if that same email would have been sent out and then I was distracted or busy or out of the office, and there wasn't like an immediate, like, I'm out of the office till this time, and let's say I sat on that email for a day, then that referral partner knew about it, the realtor, maybe it was okay, but this is the person you care about. The person who referred someone to you, you care about them just as much as you care about the referral. So the number one thing that you need to do is follow up on referrals. If you're having a hard time finding the time to follow up referrals, if out of these 10 traits, if you're listening to this episode and you're like, nope, or I do all those already, if there's one thing you can focus on to change, that's all you have time for is one thing. This is the thing you need to work on. This is the thing you need to work on changing. Build it into your daily schedule, a little bit of time in the morning, and a little bit of time in the afternoon to follow up on referrals. Because I do these 10 traits, and because I focus in on them, and because I've made it part of my brand, I do them, and I do them consistently, I find I get a lot of referrals. And the problem for me is if I get too many referrals in a day that I can't follow up on them. Sounds like an okay problem to have, right? So I build time into my day in the morning, and in the afternoon, I have 20 minutes blocked off that I can always send a response to a referral I receive. And I can let the person who referred know that, hey, I reached out and this is what happened from that conversation. And then as that referral relationship continues, I will continue to update them as progress. So for example, if I get a referral to a realtor for a real estate transaction that has a problem with the roof, then I will, of course, reach out to the realtor right away. I'm here. What do you need? How can I help? And then I will let the person who referred me know, hey, I touched base with so-and-so. I'm working on this XYZ problem for them. And then when they decide to use my services, I will go back to the referral partner and I'll say, hey, they're moving forward. Thank you so much. This is how much money and sales it generated. I really appreciate the hard work you went in. I know how important this is. I'll keep you posted. Then as we schedule the work, hey, we're going to be working on that project next week. Thank you so much for the referral. Then the transaction completes. Hey, the transaction is all done. Please let me know what their experience was like. Peace out. Sounds like a lot, but that follow-up is what makes that realtor and that referral partner talk positively about my business, share it with someone else, and then I have been referred again, so this person was referred to me, they refer me. It's like the referrals, say it like they have babies. You want every referral to have another referral behind it. So that's how you are able to do that, is communication. In all of these things I listed, the most important thing is to follow up. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend, tag me on Instagram at Wonder Women Who Build, and let me know which one of these traits you're going to be working on. Until next time, keep building boldly, leading with heart, and showing up as the Wonder Woman that you already are.